So the film begins in a national park in Africa. In the darkness of the night, we see some hunters who have come here to hunt many animals. Firing bullets rat-a-tat, they kill quite a few animals and even kill an entire lion's family. That lion flees to save its life. These hunters were illegally poaching animals here, for which they were going to get a lot of money. Now many hunters leave from here. 2 hunters are left behind so that they can hunt that last lion as well. Those hunters set traps all over the jungle to hunt that last lion and go out in search of it. Now these 2 hunters were searching for that lion in different directions, but suddenly the first hunter hears the voice of his second companion. He goes in the direction of the voice and sees that his companion was badly injured. He understood that the lion had attacked him. He immediately runs forward in search of the lion, but gets trapped in the other hunter's trap. And suddenly, the lion appears there and attacks him, and the scene cuts from here. The scene cuts, and we see Dr. Nate, who had come to an area near this national park with his 2 daughters. Here he is welcomed by Martin, who is Dr. Nate's old friend and is also the current manager of the national park. Martin shows the 2 children their mother's village, as she is now dead. Finally, these people come to Martin's house, and while enjoying the meal, we realize that Nate's elder daughter, Mare, is not talking to him properly. She is angry with him because when her mother was ill, Nate was not with them, and ultimately she died suffering for them. Because of this resentment, they have another fight, and Nate becomes very disturbed. However, she wasn't noticing how much her father was troubled for her. He wanted to fix everything that he had done wrong. That's why he had brought them here for a trip. As morning comes, these people set off for the national park with Martin. On this safari tour, Nate's both daughters have a lot of fun. They see all the animals with their own eyes, which they had only heard about or seen in pictures. Here, they also see a school in the national park, which was now closed. Here they meet Martin's colleague, Sir, and here they see a whole family of lions. Martin tells them that the lionesses in this group hunt for their lions. As Martin approaches those lions, they start playing with him, and here Martin notices that one of the lionesses was injured. As soon as he tried to go near her, the lioness started growling at him, and from this, Martin understood that surely some human had harmed this lioness, some hunter had shot her. Martin immediately returns and sends his colleague to call for help for that lioness, and he himself takes Nate and Nate's daughter and leaves from there and starts investigating about the hunters. These people reach a nearby village where there was a deep silence. Seeing this, both Martin and Nate are very surprised, but when they go inside the houses, they see that all the people there had been killed. Seeing their dead condition, they realize that this was not the work of a human, but of a lion. Martin understood that surely some lion was taking revenge on humans, someone whose family member had been harmed by those hunters. Martin also understood that the lion would be nearby and they should immediately leave from here to save their lives. As they come out, Nate sees his daughter Mare, but he cannot see his younger daughter anywhere. They panic and start searching for her. They were already scared, and suddenly they hear their daughter's scream. They thought the lion had attacked her. They immediately run in the direction of the scream, and there Nate finds his daughter in perfectly fine condition. She had actually screamed out of fear upon seeing a woman and a cow's corpse. It is seen that this cow and woman were also killed by the same lion. These people now start leaving the village to save themselves, and a short distance away they find a man who had been injured by the same lion. Seeing this, Martin understands that the lion is right here, nearby. To hunt it, Martin leaves from there, while Nate tries to give first aid to this man, but unfortunately, he couldn't save him. Meanwhile, the lion had come from behind Martin. To save himself, Martin fires a shot but misses the lion. Hearing the gunshot, Dr. Nate gets scared and runs towards Martin. But seeing Dr. Martin, the lion starts running towards Dr. Martin, and Dr. Martin also runs towards his car to save himself. Just at the right moment, he managed to get into the car and close the door, but the lion had also arrived here, and with its first headbutt, it had already broken the car windows. Now it climbs onto the car and tries to get inside. It couldn't break the car, but one of its claws, meaning its paw, goes inside the car from one side window. With that, it grabs one of Nate's legs, and Nate's daughter Mayer starts the car to save her father, and thus the lion lets go of Nate's leg. But since Mayer didn't know how to drive, the car becomes unbalanced and is about to fall into a ravine ahead, but it hits a small rock in front and their car stops. Here, Dr. Nate looks at his daughters and breathes a sigh of relief that both were still okay. Suddenly, he hears someone's voice on the walkie-talkie. Martin had called Nate to tell him that he had lost a lot of blood. He could faint at any moment. He won't be able to come to save them. He says that if you want to stay safe, you must stay inside the car.
Meanwhile, Dr. Nate helps Martin over the phone and tells him to heat his knife with his lighter and apply it to his wounds. Your bleeding will stop. When Martin does this, he feels a lot of pain and screams so loudly that these people can also hear his voice, and they also understand that Martin is near them. Dr. Nate climbs on top of the car to look for him and looks around for him. He doesn't find him anywhere. Martin tells them that he is near the hunter blinds. Mayer spots the hunter blinds and gets out of the car and heads towards the hunter blinds, although Dr. Nate was telling her not to go there. But it was good that Mayer went there because the next second the lion spotted their car and attacked them. Dr. Nate didn't even get a chance to recover. Dr. Nate falls from the car and goes under the car to save himself. The lion goes under the car and tries to attack him, but its head kept getting stuck under the car, and finally, tired and defeated, it starts to leave. Here, Mayer reaches Martin and starts taking him towards the car. Here, as soon as Dr. Nate comes out from under the car, the lion suddenly appears from nowhere and attacks him again. The lion had shown cunning. It had stepped back so that Nate himself would come out. Before it could completely kill Nate, Nate's younger daughter shows courage and hits the lion with a tranquilizer dart from inside the car, and writhing in pain, the lion leaves from here. Dr. Nate and his daughter are saved here, and in the meantime, Mayer brings Martin to the car. These people see that Martin's condition was very bad and he needed stitches. The first aid kit was already present in this car. Dr. Nate starts stitching Martin. Without any painkillers, these stitches were causing a lot of pain. Because of this, Martin faints. Just like that, while waiting for Martin to regain consciousness, afternoon turns to night. When Martin regains consciousness, these people breathe a sigh of relief, and Martin tells them that he thinks something very big happened to the lion. The way the lion killed all the villagers there and attacked the car, lions never do this. I think the hunters have killed his entire family, and he is burning with revenge. From their words, Dr. Nate gets even more scared and tells Martin that I have to get my daughters out of this place safe and sound at any cost. Martin says the safest place is this car. Sit in this car and wait for help and call for help on the radio. During their conversation, they suddenly hear the sound of cars from behind. They look back and see that there were many people there who had guns in their hands. Martin and Nate understood that these were hunters. Martin also understands that these same hunters must have killed that lion's entire family. That's why the lion was so angry. Now Dr. Nate tells these people to sit in the car and decides to ask the hunters themselves for help. Nate comes out and tells them everything about the lion, how the lion is attacking everyone like mad. He asks these people for help to get them out of here, and in return for their help, these hunters demand $5,000 from them, and Nate agrees to pay this amount too. These people now check the doctor's car and find Martin there. Since Martin was the manager here, seeing all this made these hunters angry. The hunters did illegal work and Martin used to stop them. Martin had also killed 2 or 3 hunters. And in anger, these people take Martin and everyone else captive, and at the same time, that lion comes here again to take its revenge and attacks these gun-wielding hunters, and these people take advantage of the situation and get back into their cars. Nate immediately goes to take the hunter's car, but sees that there was no key inside the hunter's car. He had seen that the hunter in the yellow shirt was driving that car. He now decides to take the key from that hunter and goes there after telling these people not to get out of this car until I return. Dr. Nate was just going to the other side when suddenly he saw that the lion had come here again. To save himself from the lion, he climbs onto a dirt mound, but then his walkie-talkie falls. He drops his walkie-talkie, but the lion had now come and stood right under this dirt mound so that Nate would come down and it could hunt Nate. Nate is terrified, and at the same time a snake on this dirt mound is about to attack Nate. Nate shows courage and grabs the snake by the neck and throws it at the lion, and thus the lion runs away from there. Nate also takes the opportunity to quickly come down and starts going to the other side through the pond. The sound of him swimming again catches the lion's attention, and the lion comes here near him to catch him. But at the right moment, Nate had hidden under some broken bushes here.
Meanwhile, Nate's daughters were waiting for him. A lot of time had passed. They got scared, so they honked the car horn, and the lion gets attracted towards that horn, and thus Nate gets out of that pond, and also finds that hunter who had the car key. Martin quickly takes his key along with his gun and heads towards his car. It is shown here that the lion had come near their car, and seeing it, Meyer and Nova get very nervous. Martin tells them to relax. The lion keeps trying to break their car, and finally, with one hit, it breaks one of the car windows and puts its head inside that window. This lion was now attacking Meyer with its mouth, and because of its attacking like this, the car was becoming unbalanced. The edge on which it was stuck on the ravine earlier also breaks from the front, and the car is about to fall downwards. Martin risks his life and grabs the lion's mouth and tells Meyer and Nova to get out of the car. As soon as they both get out of the car, all the weight of the car shifts to its front, and the car falls into the ravine. The lion gets out of the car, but Martin was still inside that car. The car's condition had become very bad, and its petrol had also started leaking. Martin had become very badly injured. He was now finding it difficult to breathe. He knew that he wouldn't survive, and on the other hand, the lion had now come down from the ravine and reached near him to attack Martin again. Seeing it, Martin made a big decision. He sets the leaking petrol on fire with his lighter, and the car explodes. But the blast was so big that he also died in it. And sitting in the hunter's car, these people leave from here. It is shown that morning comes and these people reach the place where there was another pride of lions, and this was the same pride that Martin had first introduced them to. By reaching here, Nate sees that his daughter's condition is becoming very bad. A lot of blood has been lost, and now his daughter will die if she is not treated. Therefore, he decides that he will stay at this place with his daughter. He goes to the same school that we saw at the start. Nate starts bandaging Meyer's wounds. Meanwhile, Nova sees that at this place there were many animal heads and skins hanging. She understood that this was the hideout of those hunters. Now Nate tells these people that you stay here for a while, I will bring help from outside. He had just gone outside when from a distance we saw that the same lion was coming here, the one that had gone mad. Actually, it had survived the blast with Martin and had come to take its revenge. As it suddenly attacks these girls through the window, these girls scream, and Nate, hearing his daughter's voices, comes here. He had the hunter's gun. He starts firing bullets at the lion, and the lion runs away in fear. Nate now sends both his daughters to another room and sternly tells them that you will stay here until I come back to get you. He tells her that if we stay together, it will kill us all. I have to stop it by any means necessary. Now, thinking something, Nate takes a knife and goes outside and draws the lion's attention towards himself. He runs and brings the lion outside to the place where the other pride of lions was. At this point, the lion catches Nate and is about to attack Nate with a knife to save himself, but these attacks were not having much effect. The lion had injured Nate badly. Nate's condition had now become bad. Before it could make the final blow and kill Nate, the other lions see all this and attack the lion and finally kill it. These lions had not actually saved Nate, but had saved their honor, because lions cannot tolerate seeing another lion hunting in their territory. Finally, that maddened lion dies there, and Nate also faints after seeing all this because the wounds had worsened his condition. When he regained consciousness, he was on a hospital bed. We learned that he had been rescued. All three of them were safe and sound. Seeing this, Nate was very happy.
The distances that existed between Nate and Nate's daughters, because Nate had left them at one time, were now gone, because his daughters had understood that Nate loves them very much and can do anything to save them. Their bond had become as strong as before, and now these people were going to live a good life together. In the movie's post-credits scene, we see them again near the national park where they take a picture with their mother's favorite tree. And that is how this movie ends here.